Failure and setbacks. So today's topic is all about failure and setbacks means something that we couldn't achieve, okay, and we wanted to achieve it so badly but we couldn't. Okay, so that is failure and setbacks. Now, as you know that in our life we have gone through failure, and suppose if you haven't faced any failure till now in your life, then you are very lucky. And I know that not now, then maybe in future you will really encounter it, because everyone has to encounter failure in their life once or twice or like so many times. Okay, so failure and setbacks. First, there is a quote. Okay, history has demonstrated that the most noble winners usually encounter heartbreaking obstacle. Obstacle means something that is some factor that hinders your success or your whatever you want to do. Before they triumphed, they won because they refused to become discouraged by their defeat. There are so many people who are successful now, but they have gone through failure even in their lives also. They felt so miserable, they felt they maybe they should give up and all other things, but they didn't give up and they kept trying, and that's why they are failure. Sorry, that's why they are successful. What did I say? That's why they are successful, right? So yeah, it's fine if you are getting failed. Don't you ever demotivate yourself. Don't you ever discourage yourself that I can't do this, I can't do this. No, everyone goes through this phase in their life where they get fail at something and then they lose their hopes and all the other things. So everyone goes, okay, and it's completely okay to feel in that way, but it's really very important to don't give up on that phase. Just take your time, analyze that what are the things you need to do now, and try to cope up, come out from that phase and show that you are a winner, right? Now remember that someone not getting what you want is wonderful stroke of luck. Dalai Lama. I remember it was June of 2019 when I visited my uncle's house. He has a 16 years daughter. When I went there, I realized that she was not talking to anyone and she had shut herself down. Means he wasn't engaging with people at all. Now, what was the reason? Right? When I asked my family members, they informed me that she could not clear the pre-medical admission test for which she had worked diligently, and she had stopped interacting with people since then. Okay, so yeah, if we go through something and something that we couldn't achieve, then we just shut down our interaction with other people, right, with others. So it happens. So that was the reason behind her shutting down herself, for shutting down herself. Okay, failure is something that we all have to deal with at some point in our lives. So true. You all have to go through this, no matter how much you will say that no, but you have to. I know many people like my cousin who find it difficult to move forward in their life when they experience any kind of setbacks, and they do not realize that failure is as crucial to their growth as success. I get hundreds of messages every day from people who could not clear any exam and are now demotivated, depressed, and sometimes even suicidal. Even I am one of them. Like, I deal with so many suicidal thoughts and all other things. I have so many doubts about myself, but I'm trying to kind of control that thoughts so that it will not shut down my growth, and I want to do it, right? So most of the people, whenever they face failure, they become sad, they become depressed, and that is the very first thing that hinders their growth. So I'll say that don't you ever get demotivated whenever you are going through a tough time. If today is your night, that tomorrow would be a beautiful and shiny morning in your life. So just you wait and work. Yeah, everything. See, there was a quote, Well, that is a good, ironically thought. So living on a personal level is excruciatingly painful to go through the message that they write. Yeah, even personally, I'm very sensitive person. If someone is sharing very sad stuff or emotional stuff with me, I'm the person I'll cry rather than supporting that person. So yeah, it breaks the heart. The main problem the main problem most of the time is not failure but the full definition of it. We have created a taboo around the word failure, and we all are kind of guilty because we have exaggerated it to such an extent that people who face it consider it as it their whole life is finished. Failure is not bad, but the definition we created around it, that is something very disgusting, I will say. If someone gets fail at something, so people out there will tell or will try to judge them. So maybe that's why we have fear in ourselves that if I am getting fail, if I'm not doing well, then what others will say. And that is the point where all the messy things starts. So I'll say that, yeah, the definition, the failure, nothing is wrong. If you will not get fail, then how will you come to know that where do I need to improve, right? So the definition that people created, it is very wrong. Please know that nature has everything in balance. When there are days, there are nights. When there are negativities, there are positivities. And similarly, if you have bright sunny days to compensate for the cold winter. So if there are downs, there will be ups for sure. Yeah, if you today you are going with your downs, so tomorrow you will stand with your ups. So just don't give up when you are going through something very difficult, because if you will move forward out of that zone, you will see that you are shining. you know so it's just something that you need to realize. Okay, I got failed, so what? I'm still alive and I can always do it again. You should have this kind of feeling. It is entirely alright to get unsatisfactory marks in any exam, or losing an important business deal, or not getting things that you wanted badly, even after working hard for it. Sometimes we work so hard and still become last. It completely okay. See, doing your best is important, and you can always control the process, the journey that you are in, but you can never ever control the destination or the result. So just do your best and leave the rest. I would say it every time, whenever I start something and I got stuck in the middle, and I feel very demotivated, discouraged and depressed. So I personally, I say to myself, see Asha, whatever will happen, it will happen. You will not be able to control it. So why you are wasting your present time about thinking future, something that you don't know what is it, and something you are afraid of it. So don't you do it. Just enjoy the present moment. Do whatever you want to do, and yeah, that's the life. Now you sometime you would be afraid about what is going to come next, but you cannot control. You can just control your present. So in present, just work, and your future will be shining. You know. I feel it feels terrible. But remember that if someone is better than you in a given task, it is probably because they have endured more failure in their own life than you, but they did not give up. Yeah, if you want to learn anything, that's the very first step. You will shiver, you will shudder and all other stuff, but after getting fail and after trying and trying and trying and trying, the loop of trying will make you perfect. So don't you ever get distressed whenever you are getting failed, because failure is also the part of your success and also the growth. Directly or indirectly, our growth and our life depends on the failure. So it is a good part. Deal with it positively rather than being depressed about it. We often waste so much time thinking about a past future failure that we don't even realize how many of newer opportunity we let go unnoticed. Yeah, sometimes we are so much into our past, we indulge our brain so much in our past stuff that we couldn't do, and just because of that we just can do whatever there is waiting for us in present. Yes, it is essential to introspect and analyze what went wrong, but often we cannot distinguish between introspection and worry. You have to bring in a change in your attitude. Try to replace your "if I had done this, it would have happened" with "if I did things like that from next time, it would happen." See, always try to eliminate your negative thinking pattern or your negative statement with something that is very positive, because self appraising is very very important. If you are not going to compliment yourself, then who will? So you should be the first one who should always who should always appraise yourself. Okay. Keep in mind that you can never grow if you do not make mistakes. Do you recall how you started to walk? Yeah, I do recall. Maybe I must have uh, fall, fallen on the ground so many times. Fallen in the ground so many times. What was it spontaneous? Completely no. Did you just woke up someday and decide you want to run on your own feet? No, it didn't happen like that. So true. You might know that toddlers fall on average 17 times hard, but no matter how often they fall, they do not give up. They are determined to walk on their own feet, and so were you. This this only happened because when you were a kid you did not envy says failure the same way you do now. When you grow up you start to believe that if there is a chance of failing at something, there is no point even trying to do it again, and as a result you limit your own growth by not pushing for bigger things and by staying in your comfort zone. Yeah, suppose if we are not trying after getting failures, means that we are limiting our own growth, so we should not do it. Yeah, please stop believing that your whole life depends on an exam or on any event. You can completely write the next paper. You can always try one more time, and yeah, you can definitely, there's nothing wrong. There are people out there who think that if I will get failed once, the life is will be going to stop. Completely no. That is something very sophisticated and very unreal. Okay, so it will never ever happen to you. Just you work hard and let go all the insecurities that you have. You all have heard of Mirabai Chunu. Mirabai Chanu. What if she had stopped weightlifting after her failure in 2016 Olympics? Running that event, she did not even get a score on the board. She was so shattered and heartbroken after the fiasco that she slipped into depression. But Mirabai didn't give up hope. As you all must be aware, in 2021 she made a brilliant comeback and made the whole country proud by being the first Indian weightlifter to win a silver medal at the Olympic. That was also the first time India won a medal on the opening day of the Olympic Games, and her victory thrilled the entire country. There is a lot learned from her virtue of resilience. See, I strongly believe in karma, action or deed. And if you are talented, hardworking, and burn that midnight oil, you will be successful today or tomorrow. No power can stop you. If you are working hard on something, no matter today, tomorrow, people will recognize your talent and they will come to you. So you don't need to make efforts, you don't need to do anything, you just work hard, you just do your own karma that is working, and the world and the universe will give you every single opportunity. So it's only, even I do believe on karma. I have seen people who always try to pull me down. At the end, they got fuller than me. So I believe in karma a lot. I believe in that. So yeah, I just believe that I can control that doing best, in my hand, and I don't know what would be the result. So I always believe in karma, and karma is something that will always help you. Will always will give you recognition that you are surviving for. Okay, Olympics game. Okay, you don't exaggerate your failure. Keep it simple as this: you aimed for something, it didn't transpire into what you wished for. Better things are in store for you. Suppose if you want to do something but you couldn't able to do, it means that the God is saying that you need to work one more time, and I will give you whatever you have thought bigger than that. So something bigger will come. Okay, you just need to work one more try, and there is nothing for one more try, nothing wrong. You can always give one more try. Okay, always consider failure as an event and not as an outfit. Just because you went there does not mean you have to wear it. I know if it is not easy for beginners to handle failure, but there is no other way than to accept it gratefully, because sooner or later you will have to. So why waste time? Why not working on something newer with a fresher approach? Remember that failure is only the end if we let it be. If we will let it be, then and then only it will become. If we will not, then it will become one of our strengths, and it will help us in the future. So failure is just an event. It's not any outfit. You don't need to wear it just for the sake you went there. It doesn't mean that you need to wear it now. Sooner or later you will realize that whatever I'm doing, depression and all the stuff, demotivating myself, feeling that I will give up, it's all waste of time. Rather than this, try to analyze your mistakes, try to take some time and think that where do I need to improve myself, where I'm lacking, and then only you will realize, oh God, I'm blessed with my decision. Okay, did you know that Walt Disney, the pioneer of the American animation film industry, went bankrupt several times. Likewise, Thomas Edison, who illuminated the world with his invention, made thousands of failed attempts to create the electric bulb before succeeding. So, within this period, you can understand all the successful people, all the successful invention that has been invented by any of the scientists or anyone. They all have faced failure, but they didn't give up. It's just like they got failed and they tried again. J.K. Rowling, one of my favorite authors. I just love her. J.K. Rowling. It's Rowling or Rowling. I think it's Rowling. Rowling. Okay. The creative uh, genius behind the Harry Potter book series. She was going through a difficult, challenging time when she wrote the book, which later made history. She went broke, lost her mother, and just had a divorce. Moreover, when Rowling tried to publish the book, around 12 major publications rejected Harry Potter's script, but she didn't lose her faith in her writing. Finally, a small publisher agreed to print the book, and the rest is the history. Overnight, she was catapulted from no one to an author with worldwide recognition. So yeah, we all know her, and she is one of the best authors. And yeah, so even she has gone through a lot. When she was writing her very first book called Harry Potter, she faced divorce and she faced so many issues, so many challenges. Even after writing that novel or that book, people were saying, publications houses were saying that houses were saying that You won't be this story, and in 21st century you're talking about magic is something very worthless. But she didn't lose the hope. She kept trying, and you can see it now. She's very successful, one of the richest authors. So yeah, just you don't calculate your growth by one accident. You can always go for the next try. You must have read these beautiful lines from Rudyard Kipling's poem If You Were in High School, which talks about success and failure and treating them like just as imposter. The line goes like this: If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumphs and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. Treat triumphs means something, success and disaster is failure. You need to treat both of them the same. Okay. Now there is another thing I want to talk about. I know that everyone wants to be successful deep inside, but what if I tell you that sometimes success also hinders progress? I do believe it. Yes, it happens. I have seen numerous people who got so carried away with a minor victory that they forgot that they had the potential to scale further heights. In contrast, failure is taken seriously allows you to grow. Failure, losses, setbacks, they help you to develop wisdom, gratitude, and emotional resilience. See, yeah, if you are, the person who always get, see, that simple thing, as much as you will face in a life, that much you will strong become. So if you are going through a tough time, you are a warrior. You are all familiar with my story. Had I cleared JEE, I know I would have become a very average engineer, but today I am a teacher and feel so proud that I am helping people achieve their goals. If I hadn't failed, I wouldn't have been the person I am today. And I assume you might not be reading this book at the moment. At that moment, I had two options: to be pitiful and waste time thinking about my failure, or to work my fingers to the bone to crave the path of my success. I chose the latter. It always, sometimes if you get failed, it is for your betterment. You don't cry at that time, you just do your best, and something better will come. Whatever you have asked, much more better than that. I also believe that failure makes you more modest and laborious. So true. Because after getting failed, you know that I need to do this and I need to do this. So you work very hard. Remember that it is very conven- convenient convenient. It is very convenient to give up after encountering failure, but it takes guts to pick yourself up and start again with the same spirit. Therefore, one of the mantras you should follow is fail fast, fail forward. As long as you continue to learn from your mistake, you are not a failure. In fact, you succeed by moving closer to your target. Fail fast, fail forward. If you are in that phase, don't you get stuck over there. Try to come forward out of it, and you will realize how worthy you are. You just need to work. Let's say I'll give you a chunk of rocks and a hammer, and I'll tell you to break it. You'll definitely split in apart in 5 or 6 hits. Now you tell me your first hit did not break the rock. What, can you consider that the first hit useless? No, we cannot. Does only the fifth hit that breaks the rock matter? The answer is no. Here, what I want you to note is that your efforts are equally valuable. You never know which hit is going to break the rock. You never know. You must have noticed that many students crack the UPSC exam in their third or fourth attempt. Ask them and tell them that they have bettered themselves with every effort. It's not that they studied harder in the last attempt. In reality, their result was cumulative effect of all the shot they made. Means Suppose means your every single movement, your failure, your success, every single thing is important for your growth. Not only success is important, but failure is also important, because after getting failure you already know how is that taste, and you never ever want to taste again. That's why you are working hard. So yeah, failure is also very important. Always consider failure as your stepping stone. Stop giving undue importance to it. Instead, concentrate on your efforts. Even if you fail, don't just run away and shut yourself down. Try to sit with your problem and weakness. Look at the things you have done wrong. I have seen many students who do not even look at their scorecard again if they fail to take any exam. No one on this earth knows you better than yourself. Work on your weakness. Give all you have to turn your dream into reality. And trust me, noticing can prevent the man with a fire in his belly from reaching his goal. Means if you get failed at something, try to recognize where you are making mistakes, try to analyze and work on them, because you already know that okay, these are my weak areas, and when you will work on your weak areas, now everything will become so easy peasy. Now, how to move beyond 59%? There is a very popular saying, make sure your worst enemy doesn't live within your 2 years. It simply means that even your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own negative thoughts. What will people think of me? What if I failed again? How will I show my face to them? Overthinking does more harm to you than anything else. Whatever you face in your life, consider them as mere ups and downs, which every single human on this earth has to go through. This will reduce the burden on your mind, which compels you to think negatively. Sometimes others don't say anything bad about us, but we ourselves have so much criticism for us only. So don't criticize yourself. Rather than saying that I'm not good at that, I'm so bad, I'm a pathetic woman, I look ugly, say I look beautiful, and see, you will smile. Okay, so remember that anyone who wants to do things of value in life will fail at some point or another. It is very convenient to choose an easy goal, but if you are daring enough to dream big, you are definitely daring enough to make it a reality. Don't doubt yourself. The first step generally is most difficult, but great. Gather courage and jump into action. Yeah, if you have dreamed something that is very huge, that is very big, try to work on it. If you can dream it, you can do it. I always say to myself, never look back on your past decision. You did what you thought was good according to that time and scenario. Now get over it. Lingering in the past will only hold you back. Don't do it. Lingering in your past is never is a solution. You can never ever change your past, neither you can change your future. You can just make your present good so that you can make the upcoming days better for yourself and you can get over on your past. Make sure you don't repeat your same mistake again. Whatever the cause of your failure was, be it lack of strategy or lack of hard work or lack of courage, reflect on it and try to improve yourself. Whatever mistake you made same time, don't you make the same mistakes again, because if you are making the same mistake, it means you are not improving. Try to stay as positive and confident as you can. Let me tell you from my personal experience, having confidence in yourself makes you do things that you never thought you could do. For example, have you noticed that when you learn a new word, you start seeing them more often in newspaper, articles, and books? It happens because our mind starts acknowledging it consciously. Similarly, when you are positive from inside, you feel more of it around you. Yes, I know. If I feel so positive about something, my day goes very well. But I feel so negative, so low, my day becomes waste. So always be positive. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, a farmer went to a monk. It's monk. So many people say it monk, but it is completely wrong. It is monk and asked him for the mantra to live happily. In order to answer his question, the monk took him to a nearby river. As they reached there, the monk asked him to cross the river with him. There was not much water in that river at that time, and stones were visible in the middle of the water. So the man crossed the river with the monk stepping on one stone at a time. So it is very easy. So he said that cross this river, and they did. When they had crossed the river, the monk smiled and asked the peasant, "Now tell me, how did you cross the river?" Right, so he just said that I crossed like this. The farmer was confused and the absurdity of what he was asked. What kind of question is it? I stepped on stones and crossed the river. What would happen if, after reaching the second stone, you had picked up the first stone and put it on your head and then jumped to the next stone? Asked the monk smiling. Then he will fell down in the river and will lost somewhere. Okay, how would I have crossed the river if I had carried the weight on my shoulder? I would have stumbled and fallen. The river pharmacist replied. The monk told the man that this was exact answer to the question. In life, we often carry unnecessary burden of our past, but in reality, our past success, failures, happiness, sorrow, they all are useless. So, learn from them, take wisdom, but don't think. Yeah, learn from your mistake, but don't you carry the weight of your mistakes on your shoulder. No ship sails from yesterday's wind. I can assure you that no successful person can tell you that they have never experienced failure. They're nothing like overnight success. Even for that night, you need to give thousands of your painful life nights. Okay. When I started my YouTube channel, the views were very low and I had less than 100 subscribers. The situation remains like that for a year. I thought I failed, but I didn't give up on my dreams. I sat down and put a lot of thoughts into it. Instead of following trends, I developed my own teaching methodology. I made my own mathematical tricks. I gave everything I had to build my channels and taught my students with 200% of commitment. And as a result, if I talk about today, I have half a million subscribers on my channel and I am the top quantitative aptitude educator on a leading educational platform. Always remember one life. Yeah. So that is something, if you will get fail at something, something bigger is waiting for you. That's why you are getting failed. Don't you ever carry the weight of your past mistakes on your shoulder, because it will hinder your present growth. So just learn from your mistake and motivate yourself, and yeah, that's what matters. And keep working, keep swimming. And you will not even realize, and you will become so happy, and you will achieve your success one day, and whatever you want to do. So that's it, and bye bye. Hope that you will have a great day ahead. Bye. Love you.